By 1974, the original Mahavishnu Orchestra had split into several camps, with Billy Cobham having gone solo, John McLaughlin retaining the name with a new lineup, and violinist Jerry Goodman and keyboardist Jan Hammer recording an album as a duo of material that they, I guess, had originally wanted to bring to the band, and the direction they wanted to keep the band in, while McLaughlin wanted to explore kind of more Eastern influenced areas and such. The album in question, Like Children, released in 1974 on Nemperor, and from it the track Children and Eastern Music. Notice how we had that piano figure that just gets supplanted by the bass? Yeah, the bass takes it over, playing like the same motif. Okay, now hear the interplay between and our two guys are playing some instruments, I guess, that they weren't quite associated with in the band anyway up until now. Yeah, we've got basically Jan Hammer playing Moog bass, like no 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 no, and then after a few bars of that, Jerry joined in on electric guitar, yeah, doing that same riff, yeah, that. And Jan Hammer is also handling drums, giving us that sliding hi-hat we were just hearing and some of the fills. Now a real brisk, kind of frenetic chamber section, highlighting Jerry Goodman's talents right here. Bit of a Rigby-esque touch. Okay, we're hearing another melody emerge. That's going to be prominent, I believe. Oh, I love the way that Moog lead is accenting, playing like over the main riff. The way it's just like, oh, piercing and squeezing and... Hear it interact with the violin, with the kind of silky violin tones that are just like fading in. Yeah, Jan Hammer is a fine drummer. Yeah, he's giving the song the kind of like booming, echoing fills that a track like this calls for. Like he might not be okay. He's not capable of really giving like all the rapid fire rolls that say Billy Cobham would be capable of, but it's still it's serviceable. It rises to the occasion. Then again, it's become quite apparent, like nearly 3 minutes in, that the duo are really foremost concerned about the composition and about playing, adding elements that enhance the composition without like overpowering it. It's ironic that that the same year as these guys, let's see, yeah, produced by the two, Jan Hammer and Jerry Goodman, that that the person that they had just departed, that they had parted ways with, John McLaughlin, this same year would work with George Martin on Apocalypse. And yet this track, more than anything that the Mahavishnu Orchestra had done before or would appear under that nameplate, has a certain kind of, like, let's say, Rigby-esque, kind of a certain, like, kind of evoking like the chamber pop side of the Beatles in places. Or heck, for that matter, kind of like what some other things that George Martin was involved in around this time, like Stackeridge, or perhaps even America, kind of went into certain elements like Beatlesque territory. I did a quick search for the lyrics, couldn't come up with anything. Dance to country and Eastern music. Feel the sweet balance of life. I love the way they keep juxtaposing the theme of this track and the very hummable like melodic content over different instruments and different, like we get the, like right now it's the return of the piano that we heard at the beginning, then we go through those varying like electric variations of it with like violin and yeah. Very like characteristic of this time period, of the creativity of this time period, where they would take like a definite theme and try it in several different arrangements throughout a piece, and sometimes in some cases they would modulate it, kind of like disguise it, give it a you know, a slightly different feel, like sometimes maybe alter it, like between have the theme primarily like say like in major, minor, but and maybe have it more like in a predominantly minor modality, like in a different arrangement or something like that. But just really giving as many variations as you can get out of a certain theme. Now the drums are really kind of like fighting against the cadence, and Jerry Goodman has just a moment ago he was giving us kind of more of that silky violin. Now he's doing more of the the really hard brisk type feel. And Jerry Goodman is credited on this track in addition with, let's see, electric guitar, violin, viola, Violow, I guess the electric Violow, as well as vocals. And Jan Hammer is credited with piano, drums, Moog bass, Moog synthesizer, and percussion. And the track is written by Jan Hammer. I love that change of cadence right there, or that alteration of it anyway, getting a bit more frenetic. Kicking things up with a kind of like fussier rhythm section, you know, kind of like fighting against the other instruments. Now we got like four like notes per bar from that synth bass, bum 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 bum, like a real kind of high pitched Moog solo coming out of this speaker. Now we go return to this really tight chamber section. I was just about to point out the real kind of high pitched electric violin solo that was coming out of this speaker. And I think there was maybe another one melody that was hinted at during one section that may have reappeared in another song on the album. I don't know for sure. I'd have to double check. Anyway, that was yes, Children and Eastern Music by Jerry Goodman and Jan Hammer from their 1974 collaborative effort, Like Children. Yeah, kind of recorded just as they were leaving Mahavishnu Orchestra, I guess. And I guess it was somewhat of an a bit of a bit of contention between the two parties. Yeah. Anyway, let's hear another track from the album, No Fear. Okay, so far we got some really sustained drones going on. Feels like we're careening into space right here. Okay, spoiler. I don't think we're going to hear Jerry Goodman on this track. Yes, this is Jan Hammer playing a Moog and Oberheim digital sequencer. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm hearing like two-handed, or there's probably some overdubbing, but yeah, I'm hearing that kind of well mid-range, kind of bubbly tone right here, and then I'm hearing the more higher kind of piercing soloing going on up here, like in this speaker. Yeah, this one's like really persistent, and then this one's kind of a little bit more varied. I love that change of key right there. It has almost has kind of like a hypnotic pitch bendy effect to it. Like, it doesn't feel like he changed keys so much as he just kind of took the pitch and wound it up higher or something. Yeah, this is like perfect music for like one of those space documentaries, you know, like flying through, you know, between planets and, you know, with stars passing and emission nebula and all that. But like at high speed, of course. And to think, it's titled No Fear, so it would be about, you know, doing some kind of like frontier conquering type of mission. I wonder if the sequencer is like programmed as just kind of like a loop running, and like the soloing, the Moog soloing is more kind of just an actual like hands-on thing. Yeah, because the sequencer thing is consistently playing at that high speed arpeggiation, just nonstop, and the soloing is going like we heard some kind of like faster notes, and now we're hearing some sustain and a lot more variation. I think I was hearing 3 layers right there. That really sustained high pitch thing, kind of playing over like some like mid range, and then. Oh, now the droning's coming back. Yeah, those low sustains. Yeah, that was Jan Hammer showing for what at the time I was pretty much a new side to him. Not something he could have really. Not something that John McLaughlin would have quite given him the liberties for on a Mahavishnu Orchestra album, but really stretching out and presaging some of the more experimental pieces on his solo albums to come during the mid to late 1970s. Yeah. The track No Fear from the album Like Children, recorded in collaboration with Jerry Goodman, and before that the track Country and Eastern Music, featuring both talents on a variety of instruments. Yes, released in 1974 on Nemper Records. Yeah, great label from the time period that released a lot of jazz rock and art pop at the time. Released like some of Stanley Clarke's solo material, as well as like Andy Pratt. Yeah. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from the Jerry Goodman and Jan Hammer collaborative album, see the directory of albums from 1974. Yes, over nearly 1,200 albums strong. Annotated directory like 12, 13 pages long, of more than 1,191 titles currently, to be exact. All of them, just about all of them, annotated anyway, with red tracks, purples to queue up at your own leisure. Yeah, don't try and take it all in a single day, in a single month, in a single year. Yeah, 1974 could take you years to work through all the musical riches. For as long as you're a broad-minded musical person who likes music across, a vast spectrum of genres and from around the world, yeah, including many releases in a somewhat like-minded vein to the music we just heard, yeah, as 1974 being one of the high watermarks of music at the nexus between jazz, rock, and electro experimentation and such. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations that you have about the two tracks we just heard, the layers, the instrumentation, the soloing, the composition, the interplay, the choice of makes and models that we heard, and some of the techniques that may have been used, if you have a few more insights than I do, and even the lyrics to the first track if you know them or were able to make them out in real time. Yeah. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear travel maximalist, signing off.